the Tiananmen Square tank guy, but it's like a whole thing full of Cybertrucks. It is always funny to me when Americans are talking about other countries. They're kind of like, oh, yeah, it's like we're living in China right now. And as people got butthurt in one of my videos when I last made them, I said, oh, like, America is the most evil country in the world.
Dude goes on a whole America bad rant. Americans are ignorant. Let me call them butthurt when I'm the bitch calling America evil.
Why people are doing this and why people are writing and drawing art like this in regards to the Cybertruck is, of course, Elon Musk essentially becoming the shadow president and just doing loads of terrible cuts which affect pretty much every facet of the US government. So now, in light of shadow president Musk, obviously Tesla to a lot of people is a symbol of Elon Musk, and Tesla users are throwing me stickers around pretending that they bought Tesla cars before Elon went crazy. I find that hard to believe considering he's been crazy for like nearly 10 years.
Such good charitability from someone I just call Kavos No Nuts, because he doesn't really deserve to be called by whatever sort of pretentious name he's put out there.
2020, it's pretty clear he was a terrible person. So I don't have much sympathy for people in that way. But yeah, basically what we've seen across America is Teslas and mainly Cybertrucks getting defaced with anti-fascist graffiti because Elon Musk is helping Donald Trump to speedrun fascism.
Is this why we had the one dude roll up to the front of Trump Tower and set off a bomb?
Tonight, one person is dead and 7 others injured after a 2024 Cybertruck exploded in front of the Trump Hotel on Las Vegas Boulevard.
And I'm wondering if he would even bring this up. I'm not gonna bother, cause dude is a tankie. All for the authoritarian attacks against us corporate capitalist pigs. Even though I hate a lot of those things myself, I wouldn't think many people would be that extreme and call this video a light start.
I just thought this one was funny and a bit of like a lighter one to start off with, just because I'm still not feeling great.
Especially when he said Elon Musk been gone for the last 10 years in order to make sure people don't feel bad that they're going after the wrong people who disagree with their political takes.
Tesla supporters who want to counter protest. I thought this was funny. Well, the second one's fun. But anti-fascist groups vowed to inflict physical damage on Teslas starting today. And this is from Car Scoop and Stephen Rivers. So create enough shame to make it onerous for anyone to buy or operate a Tesla branded vehicle. That's the mission statement of a group calling itself Sane for Students Against Nazi Extremists in California.
A few moments later.
Well, for face vandalism. So they've just been posting these flyers on like everyone with Tesla cars. One resident targeted by the group sent a note to Lost Coast Outpost in response to the threat left on the car, saying, how ironic that this threat is directed at a community that overwhelmingly supports democratic ideals. In lieu of violence, may I suggest the perpetrators donate to progressive causes, write postcards to encourage voting, call their political reps in Congress, and support businesses engaged in fair practices. We are not the enemies, and neither are our Teslas. In a final note of irony, I am of Jewish descent. Fascist indeed. So I don't agree that because of your like Jewish background, you can't be a fascist, but let's say this person is saying I am also like a progressive, so you shouldn't target me based on my consumer choices.
How's Kavos No Nuts gonna turn this around? Obviously, these people are committing crimes when what he read out seems perfectly logical to me. Doing a dry run on this, so is No Nuts gonna surprise me here?
Have the time and energy to organize a group of people defacing Teslas and smashing up Teslas and graffitiing Teslas. Do I think that is the best use of your time? I don't think so. Like, I don't think they should do what this guy says, like the meaningless crap of write to your congressperson or tell people to go and vote. Like, I don't think that's actually that helpful either.
As I said, a tankie who does not believe the system can even be changed. We need violence and outrage and all that sort of stuff to get our lazy, selfish way.
It might even be more helpful than smashing up Tesla cars, though. Like, I'm all for like direct action and thinking outside the box. At the same time, actually physically damaging these cars, I don't think it's going to change anything. I don't mind publicly shaming people for having them. I think that's all fair game. And we actually spoke about that one person going around smashing up people's cars. I don't think achieves much, to be honest. You know, if you've got that time in your hands to organize a little cell of insurgents, do something better.
a cell of insurgents. So the smashing up of Tesla cars is not extreme enough for Cavo's no nuts.
In response, obviously, the Cybertruck community is aghast at the violence being directed towards their lovely cars. And from Talk News, Tesla Cybertruck owners call for a counter-protest to show support for Elon Musk. Say 200 Cybertrucks surrounding the anti-Tesla protesters will show them who the majority is. There's a Facebook group called...
I'll agree this is dumb. They should be counter-protesting for their fucking private property. But who knows what sort of spin this person's putting on. Not that counter-protesting for Elon Musk is necessarily a bad thing. It just feeds into the madness that these people think.
Cybertruck owners only. But this author, Tinsei Arage, is in the group responding to anti-Tesla protesters, and they're saying, where's the Fred coordinating a show of support for Elon Musk? These protesters in front of Tesla service centers need to see what a majority looks like. A couple hundred Cybertrucks surrounding them might do it. Fellow Cybertruck owner writes, Southern California here, I'm down for a Cybertruck caravan with Trump signs. Another Cybertruck owner says, where are these protests happening? I'd love to show them the new Cybertruck horn. Then one saying, I am a Cybertruck owner, a combat veteran, and a US taxpayer who agrees with political support for our president. While I respect your right to peaceful protest, I do not condone actions that involve harassing other Tesla owners as they are not polite. We live in a free country, but it's important to remember that our rights apply to everyone. So I think they should add into US law like Tesla owner as a protected characteristic, just because these people are feeling so butthurt that their consumer choice.
What sort of crazy reverse Uno brain rot is this coming from this man? Sure, some of these are cringe, but fighting for your rights, especially when you put money into the system, is exactly why leftists are so unpopular when they go to these extremes here. But again, we got another Brit trying to weigh in on American politics. And as you can see from the beginning, he lost a few weeks. He's got to get people back with this cheesy ass fucking pandering bullshit here.
Choices are being protested.
Also, you just know from what they're writing, they think they're so cool and badass. Let's get a convoy of Cybertrucks showing up to the counter protest to show our allegiance to a corporation. But again, I made a video in 2018 talking about the cult of Tesla. Even though this seems like it could be like a political thing related to Donald Trump and Elon Musk, it's always been a cult, and they've always made this car
and this corporation so much a part of their identity.
Oh yeah, guys, they've always been a cult.
I always found it strange, even when Elon Musk had a better reputation. But anyway, like I said, there's been lots more attacks on Cybertrucks and Teslas. Another graffiti tag said, fuck Musk on a Cybertruck. The hate is real. Haven't seen this before. The Tesla brand is broken. Going to have to sell my Cybertruck eventually. Now, I'm going to talk about this a bit later, but people have been putting bumper stickers on their Cybertrucks and Teslas saying, I bought this before Elon went crazy. Be kind. So the Cybertruck was announced in 2019. You couldn't get them until, 2022? Elon Musk has been a fascist, an open fascist, since 2021. So, no.
Yes, listen and believe me. Yes, just listen and believe. I say it so that is absolutely true. No evidence? No problem. He just keep on repeating that lie, a lie that you haven't actually proven. And I even agree. Elon has gone down a very weird path, but calling him a fascist, I don't think would have been relevant until maybe a year ago. 2 at most. And even those claims are dubious at best. The whole autistic or Nazi dog whistle, that was discussed. He's got a video about it. He's probably being like, I told you so. But he also probably has things about Kyle Rittenhouse saying he was always a Nazi from birth. Being hyperbolic there, but probably not that far off.
You don't get a pass. Like, if you want to buy this product that enriches a terrible person, you don't get a pass because of allegedly you bought it before he went crazy. He didn't turn crazy in 2025. He's been a fascist for a long, long time.
And I've been a crazy nutter for a long, long time. Authoritarian Tankie, don't care, you get no excuse. You buy something from someone I don't like, I will shame and encourage others to join in damaging your property. And when you actually want your rights to actually say these people are nutters, we should do something about it, you will mock them.
Fascist. So That's your choice, and just own it. Like, if you don't want to be associated with this terrible product, and also that's the one thing to remember as well. Tesla, SpaceX, Twitter, they're kind of like uniquely associated with one guy. Like, there's not too many corporations that make like one person the face of their company as like a marketing thing. But that's what Tesla has done with Elon Musk, and the other companies have. So you really cannot divorce them from each other. It's like divorcing J.K. Rowling from Harry Potter. In Elon's case, he didn't like invent a lot of his stuff. He just came in and bought it.
I don't know his take on the Hogwarts legacy stuff, but I'm guessing it's as garbage as the ones who wanted to bully people who just wanted to play it. Even some leftists like Hasan.
Do you think people will get mad at you for playing the Hogwarts game? Yeah, I might actually end up not playing it because these things are fucking popping off. I was thinking of buying it and then fundraising for every time I play it, fundraising for, well, not buying it, but buying it. And then fundraising for Trans Lifeline and numerous other charities, like numerous other trans charities. But I feel like people will be very upset. Wait, why is this game controversial? It's controversial because it's fucking J.K. Rowling, even though it's her IP, right? And she is a gigantic fucking turf. But I truly feel like the backlash that will come of this is just not worth it because goddamn, trans posters can be very, very, very unhinged. And God forbid, you don't want them coming because they're not going to go after fucking Nazis and shit. They're going to go after me if I play it. You know what I mean? They're going to be like, fuck you.
And he's going to take this, it's just their problem. I'm not the crazy one. It's all of you for supporting a fascist. Why is he a fascist? He's been 10 years. I proven it.
And bought the original creators out. At the same time, it's the same. You can't divorce them. But another one is funny. So gold...
You can't divorce it. Not allowed. I'm writing that in my own personal diary. And that's like the death note where what I write down is law.
Cybertruck driver describes the threats and the harassment he received after Elon Musk's Trump endorsement. So, gold Cybertruck. As if you weren't drawing enough attention to yourself, now you have a gold Cybertruck because you want everyone to look at you. Because that's the main thing with these people. They just want attention. It's so sad. Just like...
I have to wonder if Kava's no nuts here thinks just because women dress in short skirts and scantily that they deserve to be harassed by people around them or get raped. I doubt he would go this far, but when it comes to the corporate fascists, he's going to throw all the rules out the door. They don't have double standards. They wouldn't have standards at all.
Like their daddy Elon, they just want attention. This article is funny though. The owner, Dr. Kumate Jiroji, describes all the harassment he's been getting. He found a sticker with profane words on the back of his truck, which caused him to fear for his whole family. And his wife was crying. She was horrified, screaming out of her throat, "Don't drive that Cybertruck anymore." The life of privilege you have to live to get a mean...
Jesus Christ. Literally laughing at someone, given the name, I might be a minority even, fearing for their life because leftists are insane. And he is just laughing it up because he is clearly nuts.
Letter on your car and start screaming out of your throat and crying. Like the image I'm seeing right now is just so fucking funny. Like, yet you're that fragile that someone doesn't like your consumer choice. And you start crying your eyes out and screaming.
How can you fucking laugh at this mental image? You just want the pain? Horseshoe theory is real, everyone.
Article goes on to say the truck features an advertisement for his medical spa business, which he started 3 years ago. "I pursued my dream, and now I'm enjoying that free speech. But with this taking a different turn, this has made me very concerned. The color of his truck does him no favors, since it attracts a lot of attention. He hopes people will stop harassing him. He also said he has tried to trade in his Tesla, but Tesla is not accepting Cybertruck trade-ins. And he also goes on to say, if you disagree, don't retaliate, don't be violent, don't try and hurt your neighbor. You know we're all human." Yeah, like, don't hurt people for driving Cybertrucks. I think, like, as a justification for violence, it's one of the most stupid ones ever. At the same time, I think out of all consumer choices where you're making a statement, Cybertruck, that is gold. It's not like you're trying to fly under the radar. You do want to stand out. And I would say that because of the political climate, like, yeah, maybe like get a new car. Like, I know a lot of people like finance cars. I'm going to say if you have enough money to buy a Cybertruck, because they are very expensive, I maybe don't feel too bad that you might have to trade it in and maybe just buy a cheap car for the meantime and try and sell it on Facebook or some shit.
A few moments later.
You don't forget that, and it has a name, right? And although we recognize that a lot of fascism in this period and just terrible atrocities done throughout the colonial period was also perpetrated by people in the United Kingdom. At the same time, people in the Netherlands, UK, France, they still have this association that this type of stuff is bad, right? So if Elon Musk memeing and doing these salutes and making light of all this stuff, people don't appreciate that. And they could be more conservative and they could generally maybe agree with Elon Musk politics, but they don't like that stuff. But like their parents might have been traumatized by the war, their parents' siblings might have been killed during the war by these people. To a lot of people in Europe, it's not funny. And America is
Sweep, 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 excuse, just giving justification for things you're making up in your head.
far different when it comes to this stuff because, first of all, it inspired it. Second of all, the American homeland was basically never attacked during the Second World War. Like, if we're not counting overseas colonies like Hawaii and places like that.
A few minutes later.
Well, the Americans were the main architects of just rehabilitating Germans, and they made a lot of Europeans swallow the pill because in a lot of Europe, they still hated Germany after the war, and that's why America led this project to rehabilitate members of the German state during this period. And Rommel is the best example where he was fed as, this is the good German. This is the guy who tried to end it all. He tried to stop Hitler and stuff. So they're not all bad. They're not all bad. And swallow this propaganda because we need the West Germans to fight communism. So an article by Carlton Reed at Wired, he wrote about.
I get why it's at. Worried. I was wondering where he was going with that weird Europe. Yeah, no, we're all racist, all that crap. And how it fucking connects to this. And I think he's just butthurt about people reminding other people that, yeah, communism, especially Stalin, who was in league with Hitler's Germany until Hitler betrayed him, is also bad. But again, this guy's a tanky, authoritarian. Truth ain't gonna be his bag at the end of the day. So
Elon Musk's toxicity among Europeans is such that many owners of Tesla news websites have ditched Muskmobiles for other EV brands. John Gibbs of Birmingham, England, runs what he calls the world's biggest Tesla inventory site.
World War II still casts a long shadow. He may be right. Tesla sales are in freefall in Europe right now. Last month in Norway, where EVs overtook internal combustion vehicles in total market share in 2024, it recorded a biting 37.9% slump. At the same time, Tesla sales in France fell by 63%, and it gets even worse. In Spain, it plummeted by 75%. So the guy who founded the Netherlands site, he said he's owned several cars, Tesla cars. Later this year, he planned to upgrade to another one, but he offloaded his current Model Y. And he said, I received only half of the original price when selling it, but I do not want to be associated with Elon Musk ideology.
So it seems like Europe doesn't see the joke, where Elon Musk thinks he's memeing and he thinks it's so funny.
now it makes sense why he went about the sort of hatred of German Nazism pretty much in Europe. Because this is one of the former fanboys who didn't see the problem, but he saw the light. This is one of the good ones who, I don't know at this point. This is a waste of a video from Kavo's No Nuts and probably a little bit from me, but the fucking sweeping involved here seems a little insane, and some of the assertions in hindsight seem rather craptastic. But let's see if I can get anything more before I close out.
Falling sales of Tesla. I don't know why specifically, if anyone in Spain could enlighten me. But yeah, what we're seeing here is one man basically tank his car company. But the thing is, this is what is so depressing. It's probably worth it to him because as much as it's fun to talk about how this might like hurt his bottom line, might hurt his share prices, what he's doing is basically he's trading in his public reputation with the world. He's trading it in to be more cozy with the US government. And Elon Musk companies pretty much, I think, are some of the biggest companies that get these massive US contracts, right? Including things like with the Department of Defense. And recently they're trying to worm their way more into NASA. So the trade-off of everyone hating.
So move the goalpost when all of this started was saying, yeah, people who own Teslas, some of them support you out. So he's sort of winding down, starting with, yeah, the justification for these people owning Teslas being shamed, having their property destroyed, and everything else. That's all fine. I think some things work better than others. But, you know, Elon bad. Fascist 10 years. That's a fact. Everyone knows it. If you're not, you're a fascist yourself. Parentheses, probably. Not even everyone agrees with that nowadays. There's competing theories, and Elon is autistic. Maybe it's a shield, maybe it's not.
Hating him in Europe and these sales plummeting for Tesla. The trade-off for Elon Musk is he's getting political power. He's getting to do whatever the fuck he wants within the US government. And instead of funding himself through car sales, he's just funding himself more and more through US taxpayer money.
Yes, that's taxpayer money should be going to communist causes instead of whatever. Jesus Christ. The justification for this video is rather craptastic, and it did pretty well. Probably because Cavo's No Nuts audience, for the most part, already agrees with his political views, which is probably reflected in a lot of other people, but mocking and go and approving the sort of a thing against people who have no relation, he's fine with it because they should have known, because obviously, and this is going to be crappy enough, so if you're a fan of Cavo's No Nuts, you're probably a tankie too. I'm just not a fan of authoritarianism in any of its forms. And I'm not just gonna listen and believe tankies who support a lot of crazy ideas, yet they can't back it up in the marketplace of ideas. Because capitalism bad. And with that said, I'm done.